Okay, so I just want to welcome everybody to today's presentation. It is on the PARO Circles, so an information session that'll tell us all about circles and how they work and all the ins and outs and everything in between. So just a couple of housekeeping things. If you could just leave yourselves on mute just as the presentation is going on, and then feel free, you can unmute yourself and ask any questions that you have, or you could text chat and we'll make sure those questions get answered. And I just wanted to welcome Nefri Fala. She is our Circles coordinator, and she's also a business counselor with PARO. So I will hand it over to you, Nefri.
Awesome, thank you. Hi, ladies. Thank you for coming on today. Appreciate it, even though it's a beautiful day. You could be doing millions of things. But knowing about the circles as a businesswoman and as you learn about PARO is definitely something that will benefit you, especially when it comes down the road when you want that peer support and maybe even access to microfinance. So I'll give an overview of what the circles are, how to create your own circle, and how to join even an existing circle. And then I'm going to proceed to the benefits of the loan application and the process, just briefly outlining what it is. So I'm going to share my screen. So I won't be able to see anyone or your comments in any way. But I have to condense ourselves here. My pad, I just can't even see the, here we are. Okay, so I do see some familiar faces, and can everybody hear me okay? I just got this fancy headset, and the last previous presentation has been a very good, so all good with the hearing?
Sounds good. Yep.
Fabulous. Okay, so it's worth the investment. Okay, so I see some familiar faces. I saw some familiar faces. It was really good to see you back, to learn more before you jump into forming your own circle. So um, where is everybody at? If you want to put it in the chat, let us know where you're at and who you're working with at PARO. And if you have heard of mastermind groups, circle groups, sister circles, peer mentoring circles, um, say I know about circles, but I want to learn about PARO, and we just want to get an idea where you're at and who you're working with, and if you have a business. So PARO circles are initially, just want to give pretty much a perspective of how and why the circles were started with. And it's that idea that if you want to go farther, depending how far you want to go, you can go farther with others. But if you want to go fast and do the job quickly, that's something that you can do on your own. So the purpose of having a circle is to not go fast. You could go fast. Things can come out really quick once you have your idea solid, or your goals and your plans that you want to achieve in your business, or even the business idea that you want to have. Having other people to contribute in a positive, forward way um, is the purpose of the circles. Having women that you can trust, that you can confide, that you can share. So it's going farther. It's not just getting a business established, and it's not just getting a contact established. It's building a network, building that support group for yourself. So it does take time to build a circle. And it does take time to get to know the women in your circle. So and I love this African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others, right? So it's pretty, very good to the circles. So in 1994, as PARO was being birthed, lots of research was done, and lots of the research has shown that women have very limited access to appropriate capital. Not only capital, also mentoring and peer support and training. And sometimes we're uncomfortable going to big groups of organizations or even groups of people and asking, oh, hey, I have a business idea, and maybe they won't hear you, maybe they won't, they'll listen to you, but they won't understand or really comprehend what it is that you're saying or what it is that you want. So having that support very small to you, core to your group, it's important. Also finding that as women, we are pretty much we would need to become economic self-reliant, and some of us might have skepticism about financial institutions or asking for support, asking for help. So we give up on our idea or not do it the way that we envision it, because it takes more than one person to create something of impact in the world, and a business is something like that. So what are the circles? Peer lending circles are group of women who meet to support each other, to share support, receive support, to mentor one another, and to coexist in a way, of a network that the monthly meetings are required for you to connect, to stay in touch, to update yourselves, to work on projects and goals together, and collaborate with each other, and also to approve each other's loan applications, business business proposals, and to be part of a bigger network, which is PARO. And are women of 18 years old or older, can be as young as 70, so we don't discriminate. Um, and are women that you select yourself. So if you have either friends or um, everybody has friends and you know a lot of people, but do you want to tell them about your business idea? Do you want to share with them what goals you have for this quarter? Do you want to tell them that you are applying for a grant or a loan application? If you have, if you say no, then who are the people that you do feel more willing and um, more trusting to say things about your business and about your personal? So those are the women that, when you think of them and what it takes to have a group in your circle, and in a way your role as a circle member, um, those are the women that you want to invite and say, hey, I want to have form my own mastermind circle group. Would you be interested on that? So that's how you would want to approach and select them. To help each other is why you would join, to belong to a group, as I mentioned, and get the microfinancing. And the process, I'm going to outline the process of what the formation looks like. And essentially, it is a membership base, an annual fee of $20, and you attend your meetings. Every circle is to have, because it is a peer lending circle, you get access to microfinance as being part of the circle. So therefore, you're required to have your own circle bank account, um, in order to have those emergency funds for the circle. And as you are ready to be forming your circle or to join, you will always have your PARO counselor, myself as your circle coordinator, being there for you and with you during the process, and giving you all the answers and all the little details of what it takes to get your circle up and running. So a little more brief overview. The circles are part of PARO, Center for Women's Enterprise, under the program of peer lending circles and WEOC, the project WEOC. So when you become your own circle, you are an extension of PARO, and therefore we encourage that the circle members adopt the values that PARO has and the mandate that PARO has, in a way of women helping women. So it's comprised of only women. And actually, one key thing also is that women who either have a business, will be starting a business, or is a community type of leader, or someone that you really want to have in your circle, even if they don't have a business, but they have knowledge of an industry and they can come into the group and provide that type of support. They will have to bring something to the table. What is it? Maybe they're just fun to be around. And whenever it gets tough, they're really the person that lives everything and makes you smile and keeps perspective or the bigger picture, the bigger impact that you want to create, and not let whatever is happening at the moment. So, what are the qualities that you want to have in your circle members? And we encourage them to look into them as you look at the values. So, cooperation. Can they cooperate with you and work together? Ownership. Can you tell them, you know what you're doing? Maybe, you know, can they take ownership in what they do and what they say, and their role about their with regards to the circle, and being part of and the members. Can they take responsibility for themselves and give responsibility to the circle, and be responsible to each member that they are with? Um, can they simplify things? Would they be okay for simplifying? So you want to simplify. We do provide you with templates and forms and handouts, but we always want to make it the easy way, the way that will work for everybody. Still using the same document, still doing the process, but what is the easy way? We require you to meet every month. You don't have to meet in the same place. You don't have to meet in the same day, same play. You can do virtually. You can do a group chat. Any type of meeting would be considered that. So how can you simplify things for you and for your circle? And mainly, obviously, giving peer support. Um, so right now in Ontario, we have over 170, about 180 circles, and we are in 161 communities across Ontario. We have expanded to Toronto and Ottawa, and we're everywhere from the Manitoba border, from Atikook and little communities, anywhere. Um, we're everywhere in Ontario. And if we're not in your community, we will be very soon. So just let us know what you need, who's there, what your business needs are, what your professional needs are, and how we can support you. The circle will go through s- stages of group development that are really popular if you take business school in HR or any type of group training. The stages that every circle or every group would naturally take are that you start forming, and then in there you start getting to know each other. You start how are you? Where are you from? What's your business? Simple things. And then you start storming. You start thinking of, can I get along with this person? Can I resolve something with them? Can I bring things to the table and have them understood? What would be my role here? Can we get along? Then you start norming, just actually going through the process of the filling out the documents that are required for the circle, establishing rules, getting an actual clear goal, clear understanding of what your role is. Are you a bank account holder? Will you be the note taker? Will you be the first person that takes out the loan? Would you be one of the signers for the loans? Although everyone that is active in the circle is required to participate to approve each other's loans. So that is a clear expectation role. And then you start performing. So then you start meeting once you're actually formed and approved by the board, then you start performing, getting your loan applications and your grants, getting your meetings, maybe even creating community events to introduce yourselves as a PARO circle, introduce your business together. So you start performing, and you can perform for as long as you want as a circle. Even though there is financing available through the circles, some circles don't form for that reason, and then others do. So what are the reasons that you want to have a circle? Is it financial? You want to make it clear. We want to access the loans and the grants, but it always has to be some type of peer support and peer mentorship. So we've had circles since 1995 the formed, and they're still performing. They're still taking out loans. Members come and go. So it's always really good to have that circle stay and have someone that is in a way, managing the circle and assisting and helping everybody. And we call them the circle leader. Although there isn't like one specific role, they're the ones that invites all the other women and said, hey, you would be great to be in the circle. And oh my goodness, you're you want to have a new phone, why don't you apply for the loan or the grant? And um, anyway, and then a journey would be, either you leave the circle, everybody in the circle leaves, more people come. So it's always an active, dynamic process. In the whole entire 25 years, and or out of the 180 circles, 3 circles, maybe a handful of circles have actually fully dissolved, due to everybody moving, and a couple were deceased. So, but always the circle, members will leave, and then there's one member, and she always comes back for new members. So those are the ways that you can join a circle. Form your own, or let me know who you're working with, where you're at, what your business is, and then I can reach out to the circles who are looking in your area, if there's any, looking for members. And then you don't have to go through all the process. But I am going to go through the process just in case, and also there's no circles available in your area. But it's worth to just let me know via an email, and I can put my email in the chat later on, where you're at, what your business is, and what you're looking for to gain in a circle. And if you want me to connect you with other circle women, I will do so. Okay. So, circle formation. I don't want to talk about the emergency fund yet. So, the circle formation process, following the stages of this group development. This is more like the timeline as to when everything is going to be completed and when you will be officially a circle. So right now you're starting to learn about it. You're going to invite more women. And then once the other 3 women, including yourself, 4, minimum of 4 women, up to 7 in a circle. So you reach out to the women, they know about PARO, they know about the circles, they want to join, and they're ready, and you're working with a business counselor. And then at that point, you have decided to form a circle. Now you're going to give yourselves a name. What is your name? What PARO circle are you? We have a variety of names, and we have a list that we can share with you, and just let me know if you need that, of all the circle names that have been used. We have from Women Unlimited to um, Moon Goddesses of the North to G-Spot, Game Changers. We have Gemstones, Stilettos, you name it. What do you want to be known as a group? That would be after you have come together as a group, learned and decided, yes, we want to be a circle. Now name yourself. And then giving yourselves a name, we will complete the documents. It could be done together with myself or with your business counselor, even on your own. But it's always recommended that you have someone PARO represented to be with you and guide you through the process, whether it's online or in person. So don't hesitate to ask. There's 2 documents to complete as a circle, as a group. One is the circle bylaws. It's just going to, it's a template, it's mainly fill in the blanks, and it's going to be talking about the bank account, who the account holders will be, when you will meet, who's going to take out the first loans, what's going to happen when a member, the circle is established and someone wants to leave, what's going to happen with the circle established and someone wants to join, things like that. So we go in very much detail in the documents. I don't do it in this presentation because you will not like me after. So once we have those documents, then each individual would just have um, their own things to do, which is an intake form. But if you're already working with a business counselor, that's something that you want to do anyway, because it helps us, for one, to report to our funders for statistics for our funders, and then 2, for us to be able to contact you and to filter out information that we usually get. So if we get um, funding information or learning information and we want to send it specifically to the people in that area, then we go in our database, filter it out, and send it your way. So it's really helpful for you to do the intake once you start working with someone at PARO. Even coming to the webinars is something helpful that you can do. Um, and then you pay your circle membership of $20, complete your membership. Those 2 forms are online, so nothing that you have to do on paper. The bylaws and the agreement are online, are paper forms. And when you sign, there's electronic signature available for anything that you're doing with PARO. So if you're, taking out a loan, doing an application, doing a document, and you need a signature, we have electronic signature. So don't hesitate to ask. It's something that we have and is available for our members when we're working with you. All right, and then once you have all of those complete, usually we want to have you having that complete by the 15th of the month. So if you were working right now to get your circle started, we would have you work so that everything is completed by the 15th of June. The 15th of June gets everything compiled, then it gets sent over to the board. The board's reviews, make sure that everything is complete, and either you have a business or you don't, and then they draft a letter of approval. And by the end of the month, you will receive a letter by me saying, the board has approved you, here you go. And at that point, either we help you complete the account opening documents. If you are in Ottawa, Toronto, GTA, we help you with that because the bank account is required that you open it with Alterna. So if you are in those areas, it's important that you work really side by side with someone or contact me and let me know what you're doing and what you would like me to help and how, and what, yeah, so we can actually guide you through. And the following month, the members can start taking out, can start applying for the stages, for the first stage of the funding. So, and I'll go into the funding in a moment, so no worries. This is just circle formation and what that is. So I do want to mention a little bit about the E-Fund because it does mention that. So the E-Fund is short for emergency fund. And so this account is for the purpose of holding funds for emergency purposes, and is to prevent loan defaults. And this is, once you open it, you don't have to put any money in there, but you can if you want to. And then as each member will apply for the microfinancing, then that person is responsible to add a 1 minimum payment of that loan into the emergency fund. So for example, if I am applying for my first stage for June 15th, then I'm gonna say Lori is my circle member and she is the account holder. So I'm going to say, hey, Lori, I'm going to apply. And by the way, I've already spoken to my team that my intentions to apply are maybe at the meeting or maybe on my group chat. I'm like, hey guys, I have a situation. I need funding and I'm going to apply for Circles funding, just so they know. And they know that, okay, if you're doing that, then that means they have to sign something, right? So anyway, so I have expressed to my circle, I want to apply for a stage of funding. Then I give Lori that one minimum payment. She puts it into the circle account and she gives me a statement. That statement is required for me to provide to the board with the complete application. So I'll share with you more details on that. But the emergency fund is for that purpose. And so that one minimum payment means that I have a good run, business is doing good, um, I'm making monthly payments, and then all of a sudden, I'm short. Next month, I know that in July, I'm not going to be able to pay my monthly payment. What am I going to do? I can talk to the circle and say, so at that point, you can access that one minimum payment that you had put as a security for your loan. You can have, I can then ask, hey, Lori, I'm going to have to access that one minimum payment that I give at the beginning to make July's payment. So then I make July's payment and I have to make sure that I put that one minimum payment back into the emergency fund. No worries, I can work with you once this comes to it. But this is the purpose, is that if you're not able to make a monthly payment and the duration of the terms, you can use the funds that you have put in the emergency fund for that purpose. It's also it acts as a collateral, so we don't ask you to give any cash equity or any asset equity in any way. We just have to make sure that you're able to have the one minimum payment in. Okay. And that's the process. Something else that I wanted to mention is the Go Forth training available to everybody, but I'm going to just move this to the end and I will touch on it again. So that was the circle formation and the bank account. Do we have any questions? I'm just going to stop sharing quickly. Any questions that you have?
I'll ask a question.
Okay.
How do you know how much to put into the emergency fund? Like what's the minimum, what's the maximum?
Fantastic question. Yes. So I'm going to touch on that with the loan application, but basically there's 4 stages. The first stage is a $1,500 is a loan, a $500 is a grant. For that loan, the minimum monthly payment is $60. So everyone who's a new member and is applying for stage 1 will need to put $60 into the emergency fund. Okay, but I'll touch on the rest of the stages soon. Good question. Okay, so if there's no more questions, feel free to, shout out a question. And yeah.
Just when forming a circle, should they all be in the same city or are circles spread out throughout the province? How does that work?
Yes, absolutely. Circle members can be anywhere in Ontario. So you can have a member from Toronto and be in Thunder Bay, and Ottawa and be in Solocaut. We have one circle like that already. One member's in Toronto and the GTA, Huntsville. We have one Solocaut, and then the other one is in Belleville. So you can have members from across Ontario. There are a little bit depending if most of your members are in Toronto or in Ottawa or Oshawa or Barrie, which is it's not Fednor territory, then the circle account has to be open with Alterna. So that's the only difference that, and then wherever you're at, So to answer the question without complication, yes, you can have members from anywhere in Ontario. Thank you. Awesome. Any other question? Thank you, Sherry. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the loans and the process, and it's going to clarify just a few things that I'm probably confusing you on, but not on purpose, I promise. So the peer lending circles essentially has the microfinancing, which is composed of 4 stages and matching grants for 2 of the first stages. So in the microfinancing part of it has some loans, which are small business loans. Every member approves them before going to the board, and that is with a signature. Right now we have electronic signatures, so all of that is provided. And offers you some control and ownership because you can decide to take out the loan at any time. It doesn't have to be because you're in the circle, you have to take out the money. You don't. And you can do it anytime. You can do it a year from now, 2 years, 3 years from now, as long as you want to wait for it. And also gives you control in a way that you can pay it off faster, or you can wait and build up the process and access the other stages and so forth. So, and it also encourages you to participate in the community because the loans come from our community partners, and they are called the community Futures Development Corporation, so small CFDC. Here in Thunder Bay, for anyone in Thunder Bay, is Thunder Bay Ventures. So this is about the loans. So why people apply for the loan? Poor history, no collateral, you don't have any credit, you're pretty much not trusting of the financial institutions, and even sometimes, actually, no, sometimes for sure, there isn't a bank loan of $500 for a businesswoman or any business in that matter. So this is the reason of the microfinancing. And you also get financial training. So if you have never done a cash flow, and when you apply to the Circles funding, it's your first time doing the cash flow, I'm going to treat you really well. We go into a tutorial and I will show you how to do, and even teach you a little bit about Excel too. So, but some people have taught me, and I appreciate all of that. So eligibility for the grants, because PARO is a nonprofit charitable organization. To give out the grants, for the funding, you do have to be an active circle member. Your membership have to be paid, and so of the people who are in your circle and who are approving your loan and your grant. So you need a minimum of 3 signatures. So that's why it requires 4 members. You don't sign the loan grant application. The other 3 members do. But if you have 5 or 6 members, make sure that at least 3 members have their memberships and are able to sign. The business must be a women-owned business, so it has to be 50-50, 51, any percentages that you want to break, but at least 50-50 by yourself if you have any other male partner. You have a peer approval. Either you have talked to your circle and it shows the signature, and then that is peer approval, and then you meet the grant criteria. So the grant criteria says that the applicant after tax income meets the community cutoff for that, the low income cutoff for that community. And the income that you're looking at is the income of the business that you're applying for. So say you have 2 businesses and you have a part-time job and you have a spouse who also has a job. You don't have to provide all of those incomes, only the business that you're applying. So it's either Nefri's Hairs or Nefri's Nails business that you're going to apply. So making that just a little bit more clear. Also, you're either employed or unemployed. So you're currently unemployed or will be unemployed in the near future. And the near future is anywhere be either now, tomorrow, a week, a month, a year. You're in contract basically, and you have a business, and because you are in contract means that you still need support, financial support for your business. And third is that either you have a disability with a condition that limits either your employability or the way that you do your business. So you don't have a job, but you need to do your business, and therefore um, something is limiting you. And we don't require that you give us any letter or any proof or any doctor's notes, nothing like that. All of the PARO circles are essentially based on the character system, right? So we believe in you, we trust you, we are members, we do things for each other, we mentor, and we trust each other, and that's the also model that PARO follows. So with that eligibility in mind, these are the 4 stages for the PARO Circles funding. So as I mentioned, stage 1 is $1,500 you pay back, the other $500 you don't. That loan, $500, it's paid over a 9-month period, and at a minimum of $60 of a monthly payment at a rate of 10% or less. Always 10 or less. As for our partnerships and our understanding with our community partners. So when I say that you can pay it early, you have to make 5 consecutive payments in order to pay that whole thing in full and then access the next stage. So say you applied in June, it takes a month for the application. So on June 15th you apply. By the end of the month, you'll know that you were approved, and then by July 10th, you'll be receiving the loan and the grant directly into your account. So that's something that you want to provide is your banking information. And so you receive the money in July, and then your first month will most likely be in August. So then if you want to have that timeline, then August is your first month. August, September, October, November. By December, you can start getting ready by December with your second stage application, getting it ready, thinking what it is that you want to do, and then paying it off at the same time. So you can apply and make sure that you will be paying that the month that you apply for the second stage, okay? And you always will be working with me. You can just say, hey, Nefri, I have the first stage, and I know, where I'm at. Am I close to applying for my second stage? What can I do next? And, I'll be looking at your file. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is giving you timelines and detail as to when and how you can proceed, providing you with all the updated templates as well, so that everything is easier for you. So then you apply for second stage, which is $1,000 grant. You don't pay back at all, and $1,000 loan. That $1,000 loan will be paid over 9 months at $120 monthly, same rate, 10 or less. So in terms of the e-fund, if you're applying for stage 1, then you want to give those $60 to your account holder. And you can leave those $60 until you're finished accessing all the stages, or you can, ask for them back. And then when you apply for the second stage, keep in mind that you then have to provide $120 to the account, or leave the $60 and just put $60 when you apply for the second. And then when you apply for the third, it's the same thing. You have 5 consecutive payments, apply for the first stage, pay the whole loan and the whole remaining amount in full, and then apply for the second. But you can be working on the application during those 5 months, thinking of what you want to achieve, thinking of what you want to get and things like that. Stage 3 is a $3,000 loan. It does not have matching grants. And that loan is paid over 27 months at $120 monthly payment. 10% or less, same thing. The money will be directly from your account and so on and so forth. And stage 4 is a $5,000 loan, no matching grant. These $5,000 are paid over 27 months at $220 monthly payments. Same 10% or less. Okay, so 2 stages have grants and 2 stages are purely loans. Stage 3 and stage 4, once you have accessed all of them, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, then you can come back to apply again. Once you've paid them all off, you can apply either for, maybe you're doing really well in your business and then you need a $5,000 loan. You don't have to take the 3 to get to the 4th. Once you have accessed them already, you can come back in stage 3 and 4 as many times as you like in whatever order. Okay? So this is a little bit about the stages of funding, how do you apply, and how all of that. So I'm just gonna continue on. A little bit of loan details. So it is paid on a declining balance. 500, paid 60, paid 60, and so on and so forth. The loan money, as I mentioned, comes from the Community Futures Development Corporation and also Alterna Savings. Anywhere in Northwestern Ontario, FedNor territory, you will receive, your loans will come from the Community Futures Development. And anywhere in FedDev, Ottawa, GTA, Toronto, Barrie, Oshawa, will be, and even Kingston, Alterna Savings will be your lender and will be your bank, your financial institution for your Circle account. As I mentioned, no penalties to repayment early. You have to make the 5 monthly payments to pay it all in full. With the loan application, there is a cost you do have to pay every time you apply. It's a $10 loan application fee. It does not go anywhere for PARO. It goes strictly to fees for setting the deposit for you. So we pay that to our bank. And 10% and first, okay. So the timeline for the application, and this is for those in the FedNor territory, but it's also similar to everybody across Ontario. So the beginning of the month, right now, you're working on the application. You have decided and discussed with your circle, I'm gonna apply, and you know that you're going to apply. So then you complete the application form. If you don't have the application form, make sure you collect it from your PARO counselor, PARO business counselor, or even just send an email to circles@paro.ca saying, my name is this is my circle name, I want to apply for this, okay? And I will be able, even if I just get your full name or even the circle name, I'm able to find you in our database if everything has been done correctly and your information is updated. So at the beginning of the month, you're now working. I have several women now working on their applications and their cash flows, getting it ready for the 15th. So then you review the application, you send it to me. At this point, if you meet in person and you have the ability to do electronic signature or in-person signature, you can do that before sending it to me. Or you can complete the application, said, hey Nefri, I am applying for funding. I have talked to my members, but we're not able to meet or get any signature. Then you send that to me and I can do that on your behalf. So, and you can just say, can you send it for this member signature? And I can do that. I've been doing that since last year for most applications. So then I'll take it, send it for signature. Then I follow up with you to make sure that the rest of the items are complete. And the items that need to be completed at that time, we don't have a clearer, but hopefully this is clear enough. So you want to have your application signed by the members. You want to have the 60 or the minimum payment into the emergency fund, and then receive the copy, so include it in the email to me. Then we do the cash flow. If it's stage 1 and stage 2, any of those, then you do a 12-month cash flow, a 1-year cash flow. If it's stage 3 and 4, because they're 27 months, it requires us to do 3-year cash flow, and they're projected. And I can show you how to project. And if you're a really new startup and you don't have your prices or your cost, then we work on that first. But we will get it done. So your cash flow, making sure that all the members who will sign or signed have paid their membership, or have the intention to pay. Because I'm gonna pay tomorrow, I can't sign today. It's like, oh no worries, I'll sign, but I know that I'm gonna pay. I know that I want to participate. It's just making sure that happens. And the loan application fee, $10. You can do that by check, e-transfer, or PayPal. So I can send you all the instructions once you are in the process. So going back to the timeline, on the 15th of the month, you submit your complete application. And by the 20th, I will be hearing from the board, 20th, 25th sometimes, we'll be hearing from the board about the approval. So to make clear, the board does not approve the loans or the grants. It's your members who do. Having those 3 signatures, those 3 approvals, it's already approved. What the board does is ratifies them. It's ensure that everything that we provided is actually accurate, that you are in business, that is your business number, that it is your legal name, and the cash flow in the loan application matches as what you're asking in the loan application. So you're saying, I'm going to buy a laptop and I'm going to pay wages, or I'm going to buy inventory. And in the cash flow, I see laptop, yeah, wages or inventory, yeah, it matches, right? So that's what they're doing. And then by that end of the month, I will be reaching out to the lenders, doing a bunch of background work, and letting you know that if you are in the FedNor territory, to get ready to submit receipts of proof of purchase in order to get the grant. So another bomb of confusion there. Let me just explain in a moment. So you've been approved by the 20th, 25th, by the 30th, I'll be sending you an email saying, okay, great, it's been approved. You will need to either meet with PARO or with the lender to review the loan agreement and the documents. And then you will get the money by the following 10th of the month. As is, if everything is done timely and complete, then everything should fall into place. So by tomorrow, everybody who applied in May will get their money into their account. And I know that everybody's lined up to do that. So if you are in FedNor territory, Northwestern Ontario, Northern Ontario, the grant is coming from FedNor, the government. There are funders for the grant. So that means that they won't give out money without having approved that the money is going to be used in a business for a business purpose. So then what is required, then you apply, you get approved. Most likely, if you're in Northwestern Ontario, you will receive the loan first. Unless once you receive the email of approval, you can start purchasing the items that you needed, putting your own money or the loan money up front to pay for it, and then submitting those receipts to claim the grant. And I will work with you step by step. and also with your counselors. So it's very important to always keep your counselors, whoever you're working with at PARO, up to date as to why you're when you're applying, and for them to walk you through. So once you do it once, it kind of gets into you know the process. You become an expert. So that's just the process. At the beginning of the month, you apply. By the middle of the month, the 25th, you'll hear from the approval. If you're in the Northern Ontario, Northwestern Ontario, then you start making purchases with your own money, or wait till you get the loan money, make those purchases, then submit those receipts and get the grant money afterwards. For those in Ottawa, Toronto, GTA, FedDef, you will get the grant and the loan right away into your account, and you don't have to submit any proof of purchase. And the only difference, as I explained, is because FedNor is providing the grants to Northern Ontario, and PARO is providing the grants to the other half, FedDef. PARO was doing the grants all along, and as the growth kept going, we couldn't keep up. We couldn't raise enough money or donations to give grants to the many women that were applying, especially during these times. So it's really wonderful to have FedNor support. The only drawback is that we do have to provide receipts. Other than that, it's all good and sweet to go. So just wanted to summarize. The circles exist for the purpose of peer mentoring support, giving women that safe space to come together and to connect and to share and to build and to create more things together, and to access to financing. So we have a whole package in one circle. You get the business counseling by having a counselor represented for your circle. You get your peer mentor support, your networking. You get member discounts, which I didn't mention. There's lots of member perks. You can do a success story as your circle. Share your businesses, what you're doing for your businesses. We love to hear about your circle, about your business. Share with us, and you get free promotion. We send it in our newsletters. We send it on Facebook, everywhere in social media. So if you just want to share with us what you're doing or something exciting that you did, even during these times, we will share it and be proud of you, because your success is our success. So that's the purpose of the circle. Then you get to form your circle. You select your own women. You name yourself. Give yourselves a name, a fun name, a catchy name, a name that is resonating with yourselves. You define what the purpose is, what your mission as a circle will be, and you establish yourselves as a group with your own roles and with the template that we will give. At the same time, you will have established your bank account so that you're a true peer lending circle, and you have that. And by the way, the circle account is strictly for emergencies. So, but however, other circles have used it for their own fun. So say you do a fundraiser together, you put all the money you accumulated into that account, and maybe you want to take a road trip or plan an event together or do lunches every time that you meet. You just put money into that account as a circle, and then everybody gets to benefit from that. Making sure that there's always that amount that if I contribute $60 to the grant fund for my loan, that is not touched, right? So those type of clarity and trust that you want to have. So once you have your circle account, then you start applying for your loans, growing as a circle, doing your loan applications, contacting your PARO circle. For your loan application, you need your complete and signed loan application, a cash flow, a $10 loan application fee. You need to have your own membership and the people who are signing paid. As well as provide your banking information where you want us to put the money into. And that is an overview of why those PARO circles exist, what it is, what they are, how you can have your own. So forming your own, or letting me know, letting your business counselor know where you're at, what your goals are to join a circle, and we can find a circle to have you join. It usually happens quick, but it usually also takes a little bit. So I wouldn't say it's gonna be tomorrow. You message me tomorrow and Monday you have a circle. It takes a while, because you want to find fit, and there's already a circle established with a purpose. So they have to talk to you and meet with you and get to know you and see, like, can we actually work with her? Can we actually do things with you? So or just form your own and then start accessing the grants and the loans. And those are overall what the circles are. There's a lot more details that I don't want to get into until you are ready, as PARO means, are you ready? When you are ready to proceed, we will be here for you. So I am at the end of my conversation here with you, or lecture. But I just want to tell you a little bit about also something else that comes with the circles, but not only for circles, for anyone. Even if you're not a PARO member or a PARO client, but you're attending the webinars and you want to focus more into the business aspect of learning, there is a fantastic opportunity of $20 for a year access to the PARO Go Forth Institute. And as you see, it said $40. It was $40. We changed it. It's $20 now. The value is like $200 plus tax for anyone that is not going through PARO. So to do that, let anybody who you're working with know, or I can put on the application form in the chat for you. But it's really great. It has everything. It's like taking a mini business course for you. So it has everything about marketing, templates about marketing, videos, and you can do them all in your own pace. So you don't have to complete module 1, like do marketing or the basics in order to go to contracts, or in order to go to what it means to have a value proposition, or what is a business model canvas. It's lots of great opportunities for only $20. So let us know if this is something you want. It's ongoing, and we would love to give you that access. Without any other further do's, my email is here circles@paro.ca, and I'm Nefri, and you can contact us anytime. So I'm going to stop sharing. Any questions you have, we can have questions and discussions. Thank you, Lori, for putting the link. Appreciate it. Yes. So that's the link to sign up if you wanted to do the training, and it's for anyone. All right, so questions. You can unmute yourselves and we can have discussion. Any questions you have, because I always appreciate it. I feel like I sometimes miss it, and your questions bring it back. Okay.
No, that's okay.
I got it.
Yeah, no, that's okay. And there might be questions that you have later on that after
Yeah.
you've kind of thought about things too. So if you have any questions, please, feel free to reach out. I did drop the link in the chat that Nefri was talking about, the Go Forth in there. And also, just as a reminder, the last Thursday of every month, which this one is June 24th at 4:30. So now that you have an introduction to what the circles are all about, we do have our Circle Up event. It's the last Thursday of every month at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. And in that, it's about an hour or so. And in that session, you're able to go into breakout rooms. We usually do about 3 times or so, and you're able to connect with other people that are in a circle, or, you know, looking to join a circle or start a circle. So it's a great event for networking to get the circle even further along. So anyways, if you're able to join.
We can't hear you, Lori. You're muted, Lori.
Did I talk that whole time? Was I talking on mute?
Only until.
No, okay, sorry.
Only for a bit.
Okay, sorry about that. Anyways, what was I going to say was, yeah, I put it in the chat there where you could register. So if you wanted to come, June 24th is the next one at 4:30, and you could register with Andrea at Business Growth 3 at paro.ca. So yeah, if that's everything. Hello to the dog too. What's the dog's name? Henry.
Sherry, I did see you. I will be following up with you. I have a list, I promise. Awesome.
Nice. Okay, well, thanks everybody for joining us. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out. Thank you for joining us today. Hopefully we'll see you at the next event at the end of the month, and have a great rest of the day, and bye Princeton. Bye everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a beautiful day.